Coming up, State of Business, sponsored by
IWS Aviation.
A very good evening and a very warm welcome to State of Business on our television. I'm Savindri Javardhana. Let's look at the top stories for the day. Sri Lanka negotiates free trade agreement with Thailand. Government appoints committee on land title deeds for tourism. News in detail. The fourth round of negotiations on the proposed Sri Lanka-Thailand Free Trade Agreement was held in Colombo from 27 to 29 March 2023. This initiative aligns with the President's vision of enhancing economic relations with large and emerging economies with a particular focus on ASEAN countries. President's Media Office said the Sri Lankan negotiating team's goals for the talks focused not only to increase Sri Lankan exports access to the Thai market, also to improve market access to other ASEAN countries through the Thai market and to reduce existing non-tariff barriers. The Sri Lankan government hopes to sign the agreement in the first quarter of 2024. A 35-member Thai delegation led by Director General Department of Trade Negotiations Auramal Supathavitum arrived in Sri Lanka for the fourth round of talks. Along with their focus on trade negotiations, the delegation also strengthened the long-standing religious and cultural ties between the two countries by offering over 500 alms bowls to the Ganga Rama temple on the same day. The National Trade Negotiations team representing Sri Lanka at the talks was led by the Chief Negotiator of the Presidential Secretariat, K.J. Veerasinghe. During the third round of negotiations in January, discussions on the proposed Sri Lanka-Thailand Free Trade Agreement focused on areas such as trade in goods, trade in services, investment, rules of origin, customs cooperation, trade facilitation, and economic cooperation. The fourth round of talks will build on the principles already agreed upon and delve deeper into these areas. Additionally, discussions will be held on trade remedies, technical barriers to trade, and legal matters. Prior to the fourth round of negotiations, the National Trade Negotiations Committee and relevant subcommittees engaged in discussions with various industry sectors and stakeholders. Moreover, in relation to the lands given to the public by the government, a committee has been appointed at the ministerial level to expedite the issuing of land title deeds through the Land Reforms Commission. This committee has been appointed at the Ministerial Consultative Committee on Tourism and Land Affairs held in Parliament under the chairmanship of Tourism and Lands Minister Harin Fernando. The members of Parliament brought to the attention of the Minister that the Land Reform Commission is delaying the issuance of title deeds for the distributed lands. The Minister said that the President expects to complete the work of providing the land title deeds that have not been issued so far and that the committee would meet and take a decision on the land title deeds that have been completed. The Minister also instructed the relevant authorities to call all the parliamentarians representing the Northern Province to discuss the land issues in the North Province. Also, the projects that have been implemented so far to promote tourism were also discussed in the committee. The Minister also mentioned that a mobile phone application will soon be launched where foreign tourists coming to Sri Lanka can get complete information about new tourist centres, concession rates, transportation facilities and hotel facilities. The Minister mentioned that the Gazette announcement regarding the 16 tourism zones identified in Sri Lanka is to be published in the near future, and through that the attention can be focused on the specific matters related to the tourism zones. In the meantime, 7 companies have submitted expressions of interest for the proposed new refinery in Hambantota. Power and Energy Minister Kanchana Wijesekara made a statement regarding the matter on Twitter recently. Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Wijesekara said the Technical Evaluation Committee and other procurement committees will access the expressions of interest submitted by the 7 companies. The minister added that upon the completion of the evaluation process, the ministry will issue the request for proposal to suitable applicants. As per Minister Wijesekara, these 7 companies submitted expressions of interest for the refinery before the deadline expired on Monday. The companies include Grant and Shirel Limited from Nigeria, China Petrol and Chemical Corporation from China, Petrico Capital BHD from Malaysia, Vital Group from France, Mating Tejarat Company from Iran, Dandeni Engineering Sales and Service Syndicate from Sri Lanka, and a joint bid from Hari Management Services with Marka Investments Abu Dhabi from Sri Lanka and UAE were also among the EOIs submitted. The move comes after the Cabinet on Monday approved a strategic move to open up the full retailing market further with the grant of a 20-year license to 3 more global players from China, the US and Australia. Power and Energy Minister Kanchana Wijesekara took to Twitter on Monday to announce the Cabinet decision. He said approval was granted to award licenses to China's Sinopec, Australia's United Petroleum, Australia and US-based RM Parks in collaboration with UK's Shell plc to enter the full retail market in Sri Lanka. We will be now moving to a short commercial break. Stay tuned. Welcome back after the break. The Cabinet clears the path for Ceylon Electricity Board to develop a 135 megawatt solar power project in Sampur, Tricomali. It is going to be done as a joint effort with India's National Thermal Power Corporation at an estimated investment of $180.1 million. Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Wijesekara sought the approval of the Cabinet of Ministers to move ahead with the proposed solar power plant, which is to be jointly implemented by CEB and a joint venture entity of India's National Thermal Power Corporation. NTPC and CEB inked an agreement last year for the joint implementation of the 135 megawatt solar energy project in 2 phases at the same site where the earlier proposed Sampur Kola power plant was to be built. According to the Department of Government Information, it is planned to construct a 50 megawatt solar power project with an investment of $42.5 million. Along with the 40 kilometers long, 220 kilowatt transmission line from Sampur to Kappalture at an estimated cost of $23.6 million. The first phase is scheduled to be completed within 2 years from 2024 to 2025. Under phase 2 of the project, a solar power plant with an additional capacity of 85 megawatt is to be constructed with an investment of $72 million, accompanied by a 76 kilometer long, 220 kilowatt transmission line from Kapalture to Habrana at an estimated cost of $42 million US. In line with the country's renewable energy commitments, the government has decided to enter into a memorandum of understanding on cooperation in the field of renewable energy with India, with a special focus on northern and eastern provinces. The Department of Government Information said that the Indian government has expressed its willingness to support Sri Lanka to meet these targets with a special focus on northern and eastern provinces. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has expressed that it is crucial for students to have comprehensive knowledge of modern technology to be competent leaders. President Wickremesinghe said so while addressing the Ananda College annual prize-giving ceremony.
IMF ආධාර ඇතුව අපි ඉදිරියට යනවා. අපි ඉදිරියට යන්න රටක් දියුණු කරන්න නම් අපි බංකොලොත් රටක් හැටියට ඒ ආධාර අරගෙන තමයි ඉදිරියට යන්නේ ආර්ථිකයේ ස්ථාවරය කරන්න. ඒක විතරක් මදි. ඒ අවුරුදු 4න් පස්සේ අපි ඇති කරන්නේ මොන සමාජයක්ද? අපි පරණ ක්‍රමයට යනවද? අලුතෙන් හිතනවද? අන්න ඒකයි අපි හැම එක්කෙනාටම තියෙන කාරණේ. අපේ නිදහසෙන් පස්සේ අපි නිදහස් අධ්‍යාපන ඇති කරා, නිදහස් සෞඛ්‍ය ඇති කරා, මහවැලිය ඇති කරා, වෙළඳ කලාප ඇති කරා. ඒත් අපි මේවා කරන ගමන් සම්පූර්ණ ආර්ථික දියුණුවක් අපි ඇති කරේ නැහැ. යුද්ධය නිසාත් යුද්ධෙන් පස්සෙත් අපි එක තැන හිටියා. අනික් රටවල් අපිට වඩා ඉස්සරහ ඉදිරියට ගියා. බංග්ලාදේශ ගියා, තායිලන්තේ ගියා, අනික් ඉන්දුනීසියාව ගියා. අපි එක තැන හිටියා. ඒ නිසා තමයි අපි අද මේ තත්ත්වෙ ඉන්නේ.
In the meantime, President Ranil Wickremesinghe has issued a 7-day notice of the removal of the PUCSL chairman. The president did so citing 5 grounds which was later denied by the chairman, alleging the move to be pre-planned and malicious. The president, who is also Minister of Finance, Economic Stabilization and National Policies, has issued the notice by virtue of the powers vested in terms of Section 7 of the PUCSL Act No. 35 of 2002. Among 5 grounds cited by the President, 3 counts of engaging in activity contrary to the PUCSL Act, being disqualified from holding the position due to conflict of interest, failing to follow due process in terms of the law on CEB tariff revision. In response, PUCSL Chairman Janaka Ratnayaka wrote back to President saying he strongly denied all allegations and provided a detailed response which was followed by a media briefing. Ratnayaka highlighted that as per the Act, the PUCSL is expected to function as an independent regulator, including the necessity to obtain the concurrence of the Constitutional Council with regard to the appointment of members. According to Ratnayaka, the PUCSL is expected to protect interests of consumers, ensure that all demands for electricity are met, license acting efficiently will be able to finance and promote efficient use of electricity supply to premises. He said that the PUCSL should duly exercise its powers and functions as an independent regulator even when the consequent decision reached by the PUCSL may be one which is not desired by the CEB or the government. He emphasized that recently he petitioned the Supreme Court in a fundamental rights application against the unlawful purported approval said to have been granted for the CEB's proposed tariff hike on January 2023. He went on to say that he has never opposed a cost-reflective tariff and that his objection is that costs associated with providing electricity to the wealthy should not be recovered by passing on costs to the poor. He concluded saying that it is clear that the purported notice under Section 7 of the PUCSL has been pre-planned and is of malicious intent. Stay tuned for stock updates.
IWS Aviation.
Welcome back. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The all-share price index dropped 43.93 points to close at 9,228.5, and the S&P SL20 dropped 8.99 points to close at 2,664.26. The turnover was 0.9 billion rupees and over 45.5 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. That's all news for today. Take care and good night.
State of Business was sponsored by
IWS Aviation.